Hey guys, Daly here, and today we're going to take a look at my Flip-Flop Rock Stun deck that I've been playing on DN for a while. I've played about 10 games with this deck, so I've got a little bit of testing to it, and I've been testing it here and there. My record with it so far is 8-2, with a loss to Fire Fist and a loss to Monarchs, which was just, or it wasn't even Monarchs, it was like Macro Monarchs, and I just couldn't get anything to answer what he was doing. So let's look at the deck. First we got two Black Golems, two Tartardis, two Fossil Dinos, one Gaia Plate Earth Giant, three Golem Sentries, two Guardian Statues, three Legendary Jutsu Masters. Then we got one Dark Hole, two Heat Waves, one Heavy, two Messengers of Peace, one Morphing Jar, three MSTs, two Pot of Dualities, one Seal of Void Catapults, two Dark Bribes, two Deep Prisons, two Mirror Forces, one Warning, one Road, two Roars, three Lava Crew. And then we got two D-Fisher, two Dust Tornado, three Macros, three Mind Crush, one Fossil Dyna, Pachycephalo, two Morphing Jar number 2s, and two Rivalry Warlords. Probably fix that. Alright, and then for the extra deck, we got one Stardust Dragon for the road, Abyss Dweller, Digesto Emerald, one Diamond Direwolf, one Evil Storm Ouroboros, one Cowboy, two Gemnet Pros, one Giant Soldier of Steel, one Kachikochi Dragon, one Shockmaster, one Soul Steel Mountain, one Tempo, one Violent Sigma, and one Zenmeister. Alright, so I'll explain this deck to you guys. Alright, first off, your main card in the deck is Golem Sentry. Golem Sentry just nets you so much advantage so quickly. Once per turn, you can flip this card into face down defense position. When this card is flipped summon, return one monster on your opponent's side of the field to the owner's hand. So how this card works is basically you set this card, you flip it up, bounce one of their cards, hit them for 800 or 1300 if you have seal. And you flip it back down, and you just keep stalling like that, and you slowly grind the advantage game out until you can get like a Fossil Dyna or more of these out, or you get your Gaia Plate. Black Golem helps feed this engine because you can special summon two Golem Sentries from your graveyard and then overlay them into like Digesto Emerald. Then you got Guardian Statues, the same thing as Golem Sentry, except he's 400 less defense, but he's got the same attack. So, and you want more, you want to be able to draw into these guys quick enough, so that's why he's in here. Jujutsu Master, when they attack into him while he's in defense position, the monsters are from the top of the deck, regardless if he's destroyed or not. Meaning he basically just like stops like most cards of your opponents. So, like I've had people swing Ophions into him. There's like you can't counter that. You got Fossil Dynas as your just straight up stun card. If you get a Fossil Dyna on board, there's really not much they can do to you. A lot of the decks right now just completely stop. I have people where I go Dyna, Seal, set 3, and then pass, and they'll just scoop. Then Black Golem revives all your stuff. Like you can get your Fossil Dynas, your Jujutsu Masters, your Guardian Statues, your Golems back. Cards in there for draw power. He's also an Earth, so you'd still have Black Golem live with him. We got one Gaia Plate. He's your boss monster. Under Seal, he's a 3300 beater who halves the attack of any monster he battles, meaning they have to have a monster that's 6700 attack or higher to kill him, which is kind of like hard to stop, especially when you got the bribes to protect him. You got like Road if they have like Dark War or something. So I mean, it's pretty easy to protect him. It's pretty easy to drop. Still only requires 2 rocks and grave, and you do go through your monsters quite quickly, and you can draw advances for a long time with this deck. Considering that you got the 2 roars and the 3 lava crews to stun them. Then you got one. Then the heat waves are in here because you do play all effect monsters, but almost all of them you set before you'll summon them. The only difference is Black Golem for this, but even then you can go heat wave, set Black Golem, and then since they can't summon anything, there's really not much they can do. Then Heavy Storm, obviously a back row hit. The 2 messengers are there to stall for a couple turns while you wait for them to drop a big, like stall for a long time. I've had games where I stalled for like 10 turns with this, and then slowly won the advantage right off Golem Sentry flips and Guardian Statue flips. And then we got one Reborn as a staple, 3 MSTs to pop the opponent's back row, 2 dualities for the draw power. You don't special summon too much in this deck outside of Black Golem and Gaia Plate, and you do stun a lot. So having this in here, you need it for the advantage. Obviously, almost all meta decks run this now. 1 Seal. This makes sure all your monsters a much bigger threat. Like it allows your Dyna to be a 700 beater, your Jujutsu to be a 1300 or 1800 beater. So I mean, with the stun, this puts up a little bit of extra damage, and it's nice to have in here. Then we got 2 bribes to protect your back row and protect your big beaters and like your Dynas. You need to keep them alive, so those are in there for that. Then we got 2 deep prisons to pop if they swing into it. This just punishes them even more. 2 mirror forces, same thing. It stops those big pushes they have, and it doesn't move your face downs. 1 warning. I decided not to play Judgment in here because I felt Judgment was like, I don't know. I didn't want to pay the life points, especially in a stun deck. You don't really have the life points to pay because if you get stopped, you can get stopped pretty easily by a lot of the meta decks because they're not the fastest. So just having warning in here is nice because it doesn't stop like their Sheen or something in case you don't have an answer to it. I've stopped Quasars and stuff off of it because they've gone like they're full, Quasar, and then I flip the warning over and they're just like, oh, well, fuck. And then I got the road for you need road because you setting your cards in Dark Hole is one of the best answers I notice people play to this deck. So you need to have the road in here for protection. Then we got 2 Threatening Roars. The reason for playing more Threatening Roars than Lava Coops is because you can flip up your statues more than once per turn. So that it doesn't matter if they run into them, but you want them to run into Jujutsu Master and Dyna a lot of the time. So you're like, oh, okay, swing into those. Oh, sweet, your monster gets bounced or your entire field's gone. Awesome, and I don't have to summon. Then we got Tooth Keep, and then the Roars are there just because they're like another Waboku, and you don't always want your golems to be flipped in case they have an answer to it. Like I don't even know what to say. Like maybe Volcasaurus. And then you got your third Dyna for the side deck. Third Dyna's in there. For obvious reasons, he's nice to have. He's probably one of the strongest. Like he's like your win. He's like just wins the game a lot of the time. Like people will swoop if they see a Dyna with a lot of back row a lot of the time. So it's nice to do it. Then you got 2 Morphing Jar number 2s. This card's amazing to side deck into because like if they have this huge board of just exercises, oh you flip up Morphing Jar. If it goes to extra deck, they do not get to special summon a monster from it. So it's like like if they go level 7 or higher, they get a 5 or higher, they don't special summon. I've seen Mermills just like oh shit, like their entire board was gone. They've made like I think yeah, as even the styles just flips up into damage step. And it's like oh, and he hit my other cards. So, I mean it was nice to have this side deck. Then we got 2 D-Fishers. The deck doesn't really care because the only cards that really matter on Grave are Gaia and Block Golem. I mean, they're your power cards, but you're playing a stun deck, so you don't really give a shit about your power cards. You side them out, and to get into stuff that's actually helpful, like Morphing Jar, is nice to side into versus a lot of matchups with D-Fisher. Alright, like I said, the Dust Tornadoes are in there for your extra spell and trap stuff. You need to be able to pop your opponent's cards. A lot of time I get games where like these guys are just like setting like 20 back rows, and I'm just like slowly like I can't get monsters on board fast enough. They don't have the damage, so I'm like, oh god, this is just like horrible. So against those decks, I love setting the Dust Tornadoes because it's just like, oh, you can't really do anything to respond to me. Then you got the 3 macros. This is just you need to trash that Mermail matchup. That's like that's like the worst matchup you have. You go into the macros, they're really screwed. All right, then the 3 Mind Crush. Once you kind of know what your opponent's playing, like Fire Fist, it's trash by those Mind Crushes. Oh, you add, oh cool, you didn't tag key, add bear. Okay, Mind Crush. Oh, I hit 2 bears. Fuck yeah. So you got the triple Mind Crushes in there. Not only that, but it's a chainable trap, so I love that my opponents don't hit it randomly. Plus, if you're flipping and bouncing stuff with Golem Sentry, like, oh, cool, you went BOS, and I stopped you for a turn with, like, Wabaku or something. Awesome. Next turn, flip up Golem Sentry, bounce it, Mind Crush, oh, there's your BOS gone. That's just, like, I love that. And then we got 2 Rivalry Warlords. If you have Burst Match, it's just gonna love you when you do this. Same with the Dino Rabbit. The Fire Fist Rabbit, just like, oh, okay, or not the Fire Fist matchup. What is it? The Verse matchup and the Wind Up matchup. Those matchups are just gonna love you. Like, they're like, oh shit, I can't really do anything. The E-Telecar Curries are like, oh, my tuner's gone? Well, fuck, I kinda can't do anything now. So, I'll end my turn there and I'll lose. I can't use my E-Tellers and the monsters in my hand, so it's like, fuck, well, I'm probably screwed from there. So that's my main deck and side deck. The extra deck, I mean, this is all basically basic stuff. I like to have more Earths in there because if I don't, I use my Block Golem effect. So if I haven't used both my Block Golems up, then I'm pretty much going to probably be going into Gemlight Pearl, Cowboy, Dire Wolf, Kachikochi. The main thing I go into is Gemlight Pearl. She's got the highest attack, and he's a non-effect monster, so I can bring him back out with Emerald later in the game if I have to. And since he's an Earth, I can still banish him for my Gaia Plate if I need to. I have Zenmeister as my other Earth I go into a lot because he can flip my monsters back down if I flip them up. Like I've had Dynas where I like flip it back down. Like I'll normal summon a Dyna, hit him. They have this big board. I'll go flip Zenmeister face down. Alright, cool. I'll flip Jujutsu face down, something to protect it for a while. I mean, there's just a lot of uses he has in this deck. He works out really nicely. I did notice something. I need to check this for a photon. Alright. So Pat Pillar Operative. I just noticed that wasn't in there. I thought I had it in there, but yeah. So and then Photon will flip up everything. For the level 3s in here, I got Giant Soldier of Steel, Soul Silver Mountain, 10 Tempo, and those are the only level 3s I wanted to play in here because they're the only ones that are viable level 3s to actually play in the extra deck because of the fact that they're the only Earth ones. And you need to be playing the Earth extra deck cards in here because if you're not playing them, then your block golems aren't live. I don't go into level 3s much anyways because it's just better to keep Jujutsu on board because if they want to kill them, they have to 1-for-1 them or get rid of them some other way. So it's nice to have them like that. And then block golems, you need them for their effects unless they're already dead, and then it's like, oh well, it kind of sucks. But yeah, that's the deck, guys. Like I said, I'm 8-2 on DM with this deck. I mean, it's awesome. I love this thing so far. It's just probably one of my favorite decks, and I've gone into a lot of details. So hope you guys like it too. Remember to subscribe and check out my channel for more videos, do all that fun stuff, like this video up, and I'll see you guys later with another unique deck profile sometime. Bye!